What's up, guys? Welcome to BetterBibleTeachers.com teaching video. Today, David versus Goliath. Sweet graphics. All right, so you are teaching on David and Goliath, and here's the deal. Everyone knows the story, okay? There is not a new piece of information in this story for most of your kids, except for what I'm going to tell you today, all right? Now, first of all, before you get too far in the story, I want you to tell the kids that most of them will know this story. In fact, in my curriculum, lesson 2, I'll be referencing it a little bit. It's called The Giant. Go figure. Right at the beginning, we say, now, a lot of you, maybe even all of you, know this story backwards and forwards and upside down. That's okay. Because I want you to listen anyway, because we're going to talk about some things that you've probably never realized about a story you've heard probably 100 times. All right? Now, just pre-framing that a little bit with the kids and saying, hey, I know you know it, I know it, but listen, because I think you might catch something you've never heard before. That's a great way to keep their attention, especially through the first part of the story. So, after you get past, Goliath coming out every day and challenging the Israelites, and, David, the lunch boy, delivers a lunch, and what's up with this guy? Why isn't anybody fighting him? So David walks down, he picks up the 5 stones, and at this point you talk about the sling, and he takes his sling and he slings it at the stone at Goliath, and down goes Goliath, and the armies roar, yeah! The problem, I think, with one of the hurdles that you're going to deal with in this story is that, to us, a slingshot is a toy. We don't think of David's sling as a powerful weapon. Like if I said David's rifle, we think of, oh wow, war, combat. This is a big deal. But when I say David's sling, none of us think, wow, that's a powerful weapon. I would be scared if someone had a sling. We'd be like, if someone had a sling, we'd most likely think of either, a little kid's toy or something you put a broken arm in, right? But here's the deal. This was a powerful, powerful weapon, and here's what I want you to tell your kids about David's sling. So, slingers, is what they were called in ancient times, were actually really, really good with this simple weapon, all right? Because the weapon was not complicated, but slingers could take their sling with a rock or a stone inside, and most of them could, first of all, they could hit a target 200 yards away with the stone. All right, so they could take their sling and throw it, and 2 football fields away, they could hit their target. All right, they were pretty accurate. But not only that, most slingers could hit a bird while the bird was flying. Right, pretty amazing. All right. So we have a weapon that was super accurate, and we have a weapon that could hit that's amazing, hit a bird. But listen. In the valley of Elah, or Elah, or however you pronounce E-L-A-H, where they were, there was likely rocks that were made of barium sulfate, which all of you go, oh yeah, barium sulfate, I had that all the time. Of course not. Here's the deal. Barium sulfate meant the rocks were likely twice as dense as normal stones. So when we think of a stone, we think of something very strong and very hard. But in David's case, it was doubly as strong and doubly as dense, which means you combine this with a rock from a sling, which typically a rock from a sling would travel 35 meters per second. You're not talking about a kid's toy anymore. You're talking about a rifle, a weapon. Listen, a rock from a sling, likely from David's sling, had the same power as a .45 caliber handgun. We're not talking about a kid's toy. We're talking about a devastating weapon. David's sling, he might as well have been carrying a pistol because he had some serious firepower. All right? So just that little bit of information alone is like, whoa. So when I think about David and Goliath, David has a seriously powerful weapon. That's kind of amazing. All right? Now, if you want more information like this, first of all, I really think you should become a member of BetterBibleTeachers.com and get lots of great lessons. I mean, come on. But for David and Goliath in particular, I want you to go get Malcolm Gladwell's book called I think it's called David and Goliath. Um, all you need is the introduction. I think you can get the introduction for free on his website. It's Malcolm Gladwell. I'll have the graphics. I would have the graphics department put that up on the screen, but they all walked out today, so I really don't have that option. But what you can do is read the introduction. The book's called David and Goliath, and it gives you amazing detail into what I just told you came from that book, and also Goliath. He was likely partially blind. That's why he said, "Am I a dog that you come at with me with sticks and stones?" He probably could not see very well. And also, you have to understand, Goliath was actually heavy artillery, meaning Goliath was meant to fight people from a distance, whereas David was bringing more close combat type weapons to the fight. So there's a lot of things that when you add those layers onto the story, all of a sudden you're talking about some terribly interesting information, especially for the boys who love battles and fights and wars. I mean, you get to talk about a handgun in class, all right? Boys are going to love that, all right? Just little details that if you add those to your lesson, it's going to make David and Goliath go so much better. And listen, I want you to tell me how it goes. Email me. Again, I don't have a graphics department, so you're going to have to listen, all right? Nathan, Nathan, at betterbibleteachers.com. I want you to email me. Tell me how it goes, all right? I read every email, and I look forward to hearing from you. So until next time, thank you for all you do. Thank you for teaching kids God's Word. You rock.